Yeah, yo, bass.
Solario.
Eddie, do stop! Eddie,
With the moolah, see, young Senna, Qatar. You know the thing, watch your style, yeah. Alright. Zero the game for the of it. The things where them a hype and me done of it. Lyrics to them upper lip. If I know that, then I dip. Them see me with me girl for the winter. What up when them see me with me summer. Everybody a send me fit on it up a bit. And them send me deal with the rhythm so crab it. Fit the money and the dollar sign. Some put them name up on the dotted line. But the moolah, that'll be fine. If I the mountain top, well then I top it climb. Lyrics them are one of a kind. People as a some a do the blue collar crime. If I know that, well then the line. When we a look the money, we no pop shuffle. That a flip like a nunchucker. When we a look it, we no pop shuffle. Money in a pocket plus double. When we a look the money, we no pop shuffle. Man a feel rich like Huxtable. Yo, we a star, them a stun double. Yo, we a star, them a stun double. Stun double. We a star, them a stun double. Stun double. We a star, them a stun double. Man a go live longer than a leatherback. Me no listen them when them a chat. Me lyrics them so it a burn them like a pepper pot. Sell out the crew, no, never that. We are the realest, them a hack. Me know the well one set a trap. You think a 50 when you hear me say thick. Inna the streets so perilous. Nobody know that they trust. All your friend them want you. Them bad mind and envious. Look how we deal with them so generous. And them return the flavor venomous. We no listen them when them a cuss. We just a look the money dog, then no must. When we a look the money, we no pop shuffle. That a flip like a nunchucker. When we a look it, we no pop shuffle. Money in a pocket plus double. When we a look the money, we no pop shuffle. Man a feel rich like Huxtable. Yo, we a star, them a stun double. Yo, we a star, them a stun double. Stun double. We a star, them a stun double. Stun double. We a star, them a stun double.
Yo, this is another Tuesday night at the Weekly Interrtupt on blackmarket.tv. Y'all make sure to share, subscribe, and smash that like button. Let's go. What up? It's another Tuesday night, guys.
You just pre-record your intro, bro?
I did.
Man,
I had to, bro. I was tired of trying to catch it.
I was saying that intro was coming in hard as fuck. I'm like, damn, he got a lot of energy right now. I was like, yo, I just talked to him. He was not that hype, but now he's hype as fuck.
Bro. Yeah, I had to do it, bro. I was tired of it being different each show, so I was like, yeah, I might as well just pre-record it. Let's do it. Why are you hating, Solo? Why are you over there hating? You just look like you got a lot of hate on that side.
Come on, man. Why you stunt doubling right now, son?
I see what you did there. We got a special one today. We got a special guest. You want me to slide him in?
Let's do it.
Slide that Tupac shirt off, though.
Right here. Let's go. What up, Basie?
Yo, go on. Big up.
You see how they do me, bro? They try to tell me I was stunt doubling. You see this?
I like that plug. I like that. I might have to run with that.
Ain't nobody doing you, so I don't know where you about to get a pause early in the show.
Here we go with this shit.
Yeah. You see,
we invented the pause, right? Jamaica dancehall invented the pause.
Oh. Y'all invented everything. The more I study, the more everything comes from over there on that side of the world. So everything. You might say we all stunt doubles because y'all done made up everything over there.
Not everything, but a lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot. Yo, that was a dope video. Shout out Eddie Deuce. He's doing hooked up this interview. That's the homie.
Yeah, big up to Eddie Deuce. Yeah, Eddie Deuce. You don't know. Big up my brother.
Yeah, that's what's
Thank you
up.
for having me on the show, though, bro. Bros.
Yep. Welcome to the Weekly Interrtupt, sir. We do this every first and third Tuesday. We do interviews. We talk about current topics. We talk shit at each other, and apparently they give me a hard time. That's what we do here. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shout out Solo.
I'm happy
Solo.
to be part of it.
Right, definitely. Solo, what's up, man?
Shout out to all the people out there that continue to be ugly. I apologize, but we're working on it. We're here to make sure that you are feeling better inside, even though your outside looks horrible. We are here to help you through this. As you see, the host continues to host himself in the red light district with a Tupac shirt on. Now my man is playing stunt double on the intro of this segment. So I don't know if he's hanging out with Los Diggity too much.
Oh, whoa! What the fuck?
But it's getting a little watered down around here, and I don't know what we're gonna have to do to keep it moving. But shout out to the guest. You know what I'm saying? We have some authenticity in the building.
Yeah,
you know
man.
Yeah, man. I think it was
That's for you.
I think it was proper because I done seen so many Jamaican TikTok AI videos this week. And I done laughed so hard that I didn't even know where else to put my face at. It's been lit.
Which one did you see? Did you see the Lion King one?
I seen the Lion King. I seen the the rabbits in the. I seen the rabbits. I seen the gorillas in the forest.
Yeah, I saw that one too. Yeah.
I seen all that. It's hilarious what they doing with AI nowadays. It's getting crazy. I don't know where this is going, but some sounds fishy, son. Some sounds.
I saw Michael Jordan calling LeBron LeBarbie James. I'm like, yo, Jordan, nah, go so hard. Jordan would never do that, and it was so convincing for a minute. I thought it was like authentic, and then I was like, okay, this is AI.
Yeah, there's plenty of social media theologians nowadays. That's where they get 99% of their sources from and believe that it's accurate. Right. I had to move myself this week because I find myself arguing with so many theologians, some social media. So I had to remove myself and take a breather. And here we are. This is a breath of fresh air having you on this show. I'm an island boy myself. I'm from Puerto Rico. So salute to y'all. I've been to Jamaica twice. Enjoyed it. The way y'all do it over there is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I literally went over there a couple years back. I paid this guy to take us around the island. And I said, yo, can I get some bud? And he said, no problem. So he did about 100. He doing 100. He pulled into the bus station. He pulled into the bus stop. He parked his car at the bus stop. I'm like, yo, my man, the bus is coming. He said, me, I don't care. I said, cool, star. You know what I'm saying? Went across the street, went into the woods, picked the bud off the tree, threw it in the bag, and put it in my hand. And I'm like, okay, I know this man is not playing. He's serious.
Montego Bay, right? This is Montego Bay, right?
Yeah, yep. It was Montego Bay.
I know the spot. I know that bus stop.
See, and then there's a ganja bar across the way.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm not lying. I'm authenticating. There's no stunt doubling over here. You know what I'm saying?
That's the real deal. That's the real deal. That's the real deal.
You feel me? You see me?
Yeah, he's like, I've been there, damn it.
I just came back from Puerto Rico 2 months ago as well. So big up the islands, man.
Nah, they ugly over there though. You know what I'm saying?
You said that. I'm not saying that. You said that.
I'll tell you, there's some ugly ones over there. I'll tell you that for sure.
He said he made it real clear. He was like, hold up, you saying that? I'm good.
No comment. I have too many friends. Daddy Yankee. I have too many friends. Fat Joe. I'm not trying to get in any trouble.
Wait. He got too many legal problems. He can't even jump his house.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Puerto Rico though. We're always connecting. Reggaeton, reggae, dancehall. It's one link.
Yeah, which I did notice that you, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. You have a song with a Colombian artist, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of work with the Colombians. There's a whole new genre pulling up called, I call it Shatta. It's produced, main label pushing it out, it's called Dancehall movement. So sometimes I call the genre Dancehall, but it's a mixture of dancehall with a lot of, Euro, Spanish, Dutch influence. And yeah, I do a lot of those kind of records as well. 'Cause it's one music, it's one world, you know what I mean? So always I mix it up.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire.
Yes, I have a record called Caliente coming out this weekend, actually.
That one.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah, let me
Big
see.
up to Andres Cooper, the Colombian DJ, and big up to Pastor Selector and the Bassal Movement crew.
That's this one right here, right?
On the toe, girl, like a ballerina. 10 out of 10, anything where you dress in.
Yes, sir.
Freak like a Dina, she bad like a Zina. Pretty in a face like Latina. You make me say, caliente, caliente, oh, caliente. Está caliente, caliente, caliente pa' prender, caliente.
Yeah, bro. You ain't
Yes,
playing.
sir. You got it on speed dial. I appreciate that.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I see Los Diggity on his record. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna hold you. We might want to go listen to Los Diggity music and understand where I'm coming from. I think Los Diggity deserves. I mean, even though he's been on his comedy move, you know what I'm saying? I think he got still a little juice left in the tank. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But you might, you know what I mean? See, I like you, Diggity. You my man's in there.
Right there, yo, you gotta understand, man. Like that dancehall to me, you know what I mean? It's been that. You know what I mean? Who hasn't loved reggae and dancehall? I think that's a genre of music. Like you said, one world, one music. But that vibe in the music, I don't care when it comes on, it does something to your body. It just does. Your pause, however you want to say it. But you know what I mean? Because you got me when I first got put on the reggae, it wasn't even reggaeton. It was the, you know what I mean, the Panamanian shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. El General and so forth.
And it that to boom boom, mommy, no me, boom. You know what I mean? That was like, so that was my like introduction to the dance hall, to the reggae world, and I think everybody loves it. You see my rap career when I was rapping, and I should have been doing the more cultural shit from the beginning, and I think we would have took a whole different route. But yo, big shout out to you. You know what I mean? Basically, music. I'm saying this is fire, man, because you know what I mean. You get people that really involved in really making dope music.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. And I have to big up my brothers from TOK as well, because while I do solo music, it's still one family. You know, it's like almost like a Wu-Tang kind of vibe. So TOK over the years have had a major impact on the culture and the music. You know, and anywhere I go, any club I pull up, once I say my crew, my dogs, people recognize the records and the catalog and who we are and what we've brought to the game. So I have big up my brothers from TOK as well.
Yeah, and you still tour with them, don't you?
Yeah. We actually we're supposed to be in Atlanta 2 days ago, but some technical challenges, so we didn't do it. But yeah, we have Barclays Center coming up in August. We did shut it down last year, and we're back for a repeat. So yeah, shout out to all of the promoters. The Reggae Fest is gonna be around August 30th in Barclays Center. That's gonna be big in New York as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I got a question for you, being that like how different is it doing the solo work, as opposed to doing the group work?
It's a little bit of, it's like bittersweet, because the good part of, well, let me say the bitter part. The hard part of it is like, those are your brothers. Just imagine like you grew up with your brethren way before even the music. You're just friends, like from the block. So there are some, laughter, some jokes. It was the fun part of it that kind of missing over the years. But at the same time, artistically, it's really, really fun for me doing the solo journey, because it allows me to show another side of me, show the versatility that I have to offer. Because when you're in a group, especially if you have a bass voice like mine, it's just like, yeah, bro, just do the bass bar. Just come in with 8 bars of the bass voice. I don't care what you want to say. Just do that, and that's what we need from you. But maybe there's things I want to sing about. Maybe there's ways I want to introduce my vocal. Maybe I want to collaborate with different people and try different sounds. So that's the interesting part. Creatively, it's really nice to expand your horizon that way, But there's nothing nice like when you're bridging them touring. When we are your brothers touring, it's like the best paid vacation. You know what I mean?
Here is the boys are back in town.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We never left, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
All right.
Los knows all about
Yeah,
the
'cause
voice
I never
problems.
saw-
Yeah, so the group released a record last week called Take Your Time, the four of us on a record. And then I drop mine next week. So, you know, we're attacking from every angle.
Mm.
That's super fire.
Do you guys time it like that on purpose?
We should, but, you know, we're not necessarily, we're creatives, right? So we don't always always have a good plan and execute it that way. We're creative, so as we inspired and as we record, we figure it out. So I try to revolve my thing around the group. Once the group is dropping something, I'll say, okay, give the group, you know, a week or two. But sometimes the producers also is like, yo, I need to drop this now. You know, so in the case of Caliente, the producer had this record working on for maybe a year. So he's like, June is when I'm dropping it. And, you know, TOK has our record working on for a year. And they're like, June is when we're dropping it. So you have like a 2-week period between the records.
Yeah.
But it's not so bad for the algorithm either, you know, because it's just continuing, there's just more activity on both sides. So they complement each other, I believe.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
I got a question. How do you feel, you know what I mean, being in the game for a while, the change from like it going from like the vinyls and stuff, the old school to the internet? Because that's a big change. Like I talked with Prez, I talked with my team about it. We lived through this. A lot of the young generation, they just came out and it is internet. You have to made a name for yourself before the internet. Like you had to really hand-to-hand shit.
Yeah, for sure. I feel I actually at this point it's like something. It's like a badge of honor to know that you've been recording music from back then, because the kids now can only try to imagine or they try to duplicate. So like the kids know that, you know, this resurgence of vinyl, and so they're buying Bluetooth vinyls and playing records with, you know, it's not the same as when you were back then. So I wear it with a badge of honor, but you also really have to just endorse the changes as it come along. If you're late to endorse a change, you get left behind. So when we were doing records on vinyl and it came with Pro Tools, for instance, there were some producers who were like, yo, that's not real, and it's digital and it's virtual and it's not analog, it's not real. But we were ones like, as a group, it was a solution for us, because when you're on a 24 track, if you understand the 24 track, you literally have 24 tracks. That's it. And on one track, on one version of the rhythm, you have like 8 of those tracks is just for the beat. So you have like 16 tracks left, and you have Bounty Killer taking up 2, you have Beenie Man taking up 2, you have all these big names on this one track. So when TOK comes as a young artist, they might say, okay, you're a group, but we only have 1 track left, and we need to put all 4 vocals on 1 track. You know, we're doing the lead, and then we're doing the harmonies, and we're doing the lead. Now, with the virtual world, going to Pro Tools, we were able to just stack those vocals. So we endorsed that. Now it's going to AI. That's a scary place. But again, you just have to figure out how to survive in that, because it's not gonna go away. You know, okay. And the same thing for social media too. Like, yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel the next year or so? There's gonna be a stunt double AI version of you that's gonna be signed.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I can if I can find a way to imprint a copyright so that the as far as the AI goes, I'm getting some residual on it. I think that's the way you have to try and figure it out. You have to really find out how you can still benefit from it, but it's not gonna go away, you know. Or you go in the game of taking the AI and adding value to it with some other way that you're gonna, you're gonna play around with it. And then there's also this whole experience. So AI can give good solutions, but real life experience is still there. So it might just be, artists might just have to focus on live performances. People might say, okay, I don't know what song I'm hearing, I don't know who's singing when I turn on Spotify, but I do know when I got to the show, I want to see the artist, I want to be able to touch their feet in the front row, I want to go backstage and shake their hand. And then that might be more valuable for you in the long run.
You really gonna let them touch your feet, bro?
They do. The girls do all the time, bro. So no cap. You're standing in the front row. Girls will literally be like rubbing down your leg. It's part of the job.
Are you married?
I am.
You in trouble, bro.
No, she knows. My wife knows. She's seen there. Like, I'm at a concert with her. She sees the vibe, you know.
And she don't care. Is she Jamaican too?
Nah, but I mean, rubbing on your foot is different from.
Is she Jamaican, bro? Is she Jamaican?
No, she's not, bro.
Okay, all right. That answers a lot of questions.
The Chinese rub the shit out of your feet.
What was that?
The Chinese ladies rub the shit out of your feet in a store and everything. Like a big man.
They're just showing love. You just got to set the boundaries. But there's a part about that physical touch that they're going for. You're trying to get me in trouble, Solo. I see what you're trying to do, Solo.
No. I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Stop it,
I'm trying to make sure you don't get in trouble.
You see what I got to deal with? You see what I got to deal with?
You answered the question. I didn't. I just asked.
I'm good. Wifey knows the game.
Shout out to wifey. Shout out to wifey.
Wifey for lifey.
Yes.
Only you are allowed to touch his toes, not his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Let me help you clarify. Not the toes, the shoes.
The shoes, right. That's what's happening, right.
You're upon the shoes, you're upon the payment.
Right.
Yeah, well.
Once it's on the stage, then there's nothing going backstage. It's all good.
I see. I didn't go that far. You went that far. At that point, you just say, "Hey, I take over."
You gotta just throw a towel down there and be like, if you're gonna be down there rubbing the feet, at least clean the shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
But I did notice it's funny because you know, a lot of artists are very hesitant when it comes to technology. One of the things I did notice about you is that when NFTs came out, you were probably one of the, you know, you jumped on it right away. Because this was like,
yeah, I was the first dancehall artist to do NFT, and even outside of NFTs, another side of my life is highly invested in tech. Like I do a lot of tech. I have a tech company that I run for geotech. So yeah, it's definitely something that I like. If you don't endorse the changes, you're gonna get left behind, as I said before. So I think like for us as creatives, sometimes people like to put us in a box and say because you're creative, it means you couldn't do anything better at school and you're limited to sing songs till you're 8 years old. And I look at it the other way. I think because you're creative, you have such an imaginative mind that you can actually do almost anything you want. And most of the tech people are creatives. So yeah, I feel like you just have to figure out how to leverage what's happening and use it to your advantage, you know?
Yeah. Message. I like it.
I get it. Because Braz, he technical as hell and he creative as fuck. He do shit. I'd be like, how the fuck do you even do this shit? But I understand that, brother. I get lost in that shit. That shit's like the Matrix. I start seeing numbers. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
He's part of a special group that not much understand. You know what I mean?
I talk shit.
Not much understand.
No, I'm not.
This is the way to make money off of talking shit. So the technical is like, hey, I get all that. I can just talk shit.
Yeah.
Prez, tell us where you from, Prez. Throw that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm very much a technical guy. I've been in the tech world for a while, so I've done like websites for a while, IT stuff, you know. Now we're doing the broadcast. Yeah. They call me the Illuminati over here, so that's that's what I got to deal with right now.
Yo, look at Nari, bro. Nari did his thing in the hip hop and is a legend in the hip hop. And just one pivot to this platform with, you know, like yourself, like having these platforms that show love to other artists and give a platform for people to come out. And that's us pivoting. That's not even anything tech. That's us figuring out how to survive in this new world. And of course, everybody has a podcast now, and it's not all them way to survive. But once you can find that unique thing about your platform, you know, it has value. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to become a techie, but you just have to figure out how to pivot in the world that's evolving. You know, are you gonna get left behind?
Yeah, that's kind of how this came about. You know, we were artists for a long time doing music, doing the touring and all that. And COVID really is what kind of was the catalyst for this, because all the tour networks shut down for a long time. So
Right.
So I had to pivot. But like what I noticed with this is it's kind of a combination. So I've always been into sound, music, and tech, and this was like a combination of all those things. So you needed to know audio, you needed to know video, you needed to know how IT, you need to know how the network needs to be, set up, and so it just kind of all came together. I feel like this is kind of a combination of all of it,
Yeah, agreed, for sure.
Yeah, and I like what you said. I think techs are creative. Sometimes we don't get looked at like creatives because we're so technical, but I mean, it takes a lot to create this.
Bro, I was in Japan on tour with TOK and ran into will.i.am, and I had a short conversation with him, and just the way how I'm looking on life, I was just like, yo, this guy's on top of the pop world, and the pop world is like below his feet compared to where he's going with it, I've been up to date with the latest what he's doing, but I just know that the way he was thinking is way how he survive in this space, I mean? And it's not only will.i.am, it's a lot of people, so I have to big up the people and we're pivot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you say you're between Germany. You go to Germany a lot?
Yeah, my wife is in Germany.
Okay. So do you live out there, or you kind of go back and forth?
Back and forth. You can't be a dancehall artist and not be in Jamaica, bro. Especially as a DJ. Like, I mean, explaining DJ in our term, in hip hop DJs like the selector, the guy who's getting the party going. But in our world, the DJ is like the rapper, or the MC. And I am one of those two guys in the group in TOK. So for me to stay relevant, to just feel the pulse of the genre that I'm doing, I can't be in Berlin in the cold winter. My music not going to be as authentic. But I do collaborate with producers in that space. So that's how this record came about. The producer for the beat is called Solario, and he's based in Berlin. He's a really good artist as well. And so from time to time, I swing by him, and he has beats and we record ideas. He did like 3 tracks on my last solo album, King Bass. And then we were working on recordings, and when I did this record's stunt double, he was like, yo, I'm working with Eddie Dusa. Eddie Dusa was introduced to me through Solario. And then I came to New York, link up with Eddie, and we did the video, and we just, the link just became more and more solid. And, we have a lot of things in the can ready to come out, as well.
Yeah, Eddie, every time I go to New York, Eddie behind me in some rooms that are unexpected when I get out there. I'm like, oh, we here? Oh, yeah. All right. We're here. Oh, we getting everything.
He's the plug. He's
He's definitely a plug out there. So
yeah.
I know I've talked about this with Solo and Los before. There was a time, I want to say in the 90s, late 90s, that I felt like hip-hop and dancehall were almost synonymous in the club. You could not go to a club and not hear both. Like it was the two went together like peanut butter and jelly. I don't see that. I don't see that now. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, that was when we got to come up. I mean, it was a little before us, so it started from like Shabba time in like the early 90s. Supercat, those dudes. Remember when Biggie came out, his first record was with Supercat. A lot of the R&B dudes had records with Shabba Ranks. It took a little lull, and then it came back with like Buju and some of those folks, Spraga Benz. It took another lull. So it's always like a cycle, and then it came back with like Beanie Man. And then it took a lull again, and it came back with TOK, Sean Paul, Elephant Man. That was like early 2000s. There's always, if you look at it like historically, dancehall and hip hop are like cousins. They're all coming from the same background. Kool Herc, who started hip hop, was a Jamaican. Spoken word was on ska records from in the 60s with like U-Roy. And that people said that's like the first rapper before Rapper's Delight and way before that. So there's always a connection. Consider ourselves kindred spirits, I would say. Our distant relatives, like the album from Nas and Damian Marley. There is that relativity. But I guess now it's going back to the roots, because like Afro, everything has gone back to Africa now, where the original, the root of everything from Caribbean, from Latino, everything. So I think there's like, and I guess because of the streaming vibe now, it's not any one dominant sound. It's like whatever you like. Today you want to hear Afrobeats, tomorrow you want to hear grime, the next day you want to hear drill, the next day you want to hear, I don't know, some random stuff. So it's not as dominant, but dancehall will always be a cousin of hip hop, in my opinion.
Definitely no New Orleans music. I know that for sure, son.
Oh, not solo with the New
Yo, you know what's funny? I'm in Baltimore now, and this sound, I don't know what they call it. I'm not the specialist, but you remember this record from Amory, just one thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a unique Baltimore song with these drums and this kind of the way the beat is. And I was in the restaurant just now, and it's like back to back of those records. So to your point about New Orleans, every it's a group of people in some small groups. They have their own sound, I mean, people think Africa is all Afrobeats. You have your Amapiano, you have the different sounds in the different countries. So I mean, I just think the music is not as one genre anymore. I think it's like little pockets of what you like you can tap into.
Yeah, that's facts. I think I agree with that.
And some of these guys making music that I don't know. They invented a crazy pocket. They can keep in that pocket. That pocket, I don't even know what it is sometimes.
Right.
It's amazing. Like I would never think. I just like with this new music, with someone like just get off of, you know what I mean, like the reggae vibe, but like the new, some of like what they call in hip hop and rap, and like when the mumble rap came out, and like what the fuck are you really even saying? And it's gotten weird. Like
off beat, the tanks, the
it's off. Like when did it start? Like let's rap off beat. You know what? I'm gonna get so creative that I don't even want to rhyme no more. Like I'm just gonna make it.
The crazy CD covers with the glam, you know what I mean? Like it was just crazy, bro. They just
let me ask you guys this. So do you think, because you have AI is gonna be more predictable on the beat, reproducing 90s music probably better than what we was even hearing at one point. Do you think the fact that people are being unconventional, off the beat, weird as hell, is that probably the counter to AI?
I mean, if you think about it, it has to be, because you can't authenticate somebody's mind. I mean, you could try. I guess that's what they're trying to do with the conscious and get it to think like somebody. But that's something I don't see how you can really reduplicate that, because it's going to be changing. Honestly, it's only going to get more and more creative.
Right.
And AI is going to go off of what it knows.
Right.
But what can't tell the future. The AI cannot tell the future what it's going to be. Because like the artist, you keep creating, you're going with the times, you're getting different influences, and style changes throughout the years.
What I think the AI can do is it can look at historical patterns and say, okay, the way how Basie has been rapping flowing for the last 10 years, this is what he'll do for the next 5 years. And I think the way how you counteract that AI is every time you find something that's predictable in your mind, you say, fuck that, I'm going to go left field with it. I'm going to go totally unpredictable. You have to be unpredictable and unorthodox to counter the algorithm that the AI has studied of you, So that I'm saying that to say I don't like the offbeat thing, but maybe that is a part to keeping it original and different, I personally, I'm a hip hop baby, so once it came to like the trap, I like some of the trap, but give me the 90s hip hop. Like if you look at my playlist now, it's still Nas and Jay and Biggie and Eminem and Andre 3000 and the Wu-Tangs and I still have a song named 93 Till Infinity. I mean, it's just one song, Souls of Mischief drop, and to this day I don't hear anything that get me in a mood like Souls of Mischief. So
you got some Master P in there?
Nah, not so much Master P, to be honest with you. Only like 1 and 2 Snoop that was with Master P. But
you got some Silk the Shocker in there?
Yo,
no, I don't.
I don't know.
No,
I don't. I can't deal with the Silk the Shocker. No.
Here's the question though. Yo, you were out there in New York. You're originally not originally, but you spent a lot of time up north.
Yeah, for sure.
So this guy right here, Solo, he knew out here the South here that he was used to all that stuff up there.
Right.
He wasn't paying attention to New Orleans. He wasn't paying attention to Cash Money. He wasn't paying attention to
Cash Money, definitely Cash Money, because the beats that that Money was dropping and the flow Juvie came with, and then following afterwards with Liquor Wayne and Turk and what's this dude that just come out of jail, BG and all them. I didn't like them. I didn't like that. That felt like a movement, the full white shirt and the whole thing. Master P, I was just more looking at it like the business, the hustle. I was like, all right, cool, this dude is making the money. But the music was like one-off. You might find out one song you like, but it wasn't like a movement for me that I was digging. And if you talk about soul for me, I was stopping at ATL. I was with So Def. I was with Dungeon. I was with Goody Mob sometime, but definitely my boy Stilo, definitely Outkast. Later on, definitely Ludacris. That's kind of where I was. And then if it's Miami, I was linking with Trick Daddy a little bit. I was listening for Trick Daddy. I was listening Luke back in the day with what them guys' name, the two dudes, Me So Horny and them dudes, But I was always a New York kind of dude still. New York and West Coast, Dre, and West Coast DJ Premier. That was my thing.
Yeah, some South. See, you got some South in there.
Hey, Solo ain't got nothing from the fucking South in him, bro. He's fucking just bullshit, bro.
Yo, bro, the gumbo's lit. Chill out.
Bro, shit.
What about Mystical? Mystical, bro. Mystical was like he came out as #1 over Madonna when his album come out with
#1 pedophile.
I can't wait so long.
It's only like Kendrick now, bro. It's only like Kendrick.
Oh man, Solo's the #1 hater.
I'm a hater. That's crazy.
You was hating on my intro, now you hating on the South.
Nah, bro, you stuck double the intro. I ain't with it.
So there was another, like, for instance, fun fact, before Sean Paul of Dancehall came out with Give Me the Light and them songs, there was a Sean Paul before, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Andre 3000 Brother. They had a rap group. I can't remember the name of the group, but
Youngbloods.
Yeah, that was it. I know my hip hop, bro. I know my hip hop.
It's not hip hop.
No Bentleys, Cadillac pimping.
Chill.
Yeah, Los got hype. He was like, hold up.
I grew up on that shit. Like,
no, ATL was for a minute. ATL, the Brat, for a minute, ATL was doing them thing, bro. For a minute.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like I tell Soul all the time. Yeah, out here, I grew up. You know what I mean? I'm in Florida. We knew the biggies. We knew all that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was a different vibe out here. So
yeah.
South is different.
Respect.
Some UGK.
Respect who paved the way. That's all we saying, son. Check that.
I mean, it was music. You know what I mean? I guess so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you must admit there was a time when West Coast, there was a time when Snoop came out and shut down the entire American nation as a friggin' hip hop industry. When Snoop came out,
nobody was gonna go get somebody who's beat a murder charge. You crazy?
Bro.
You crazy.
Dr. Dre. And then, so let me ask you this: Where does Virginia fall in it for you? That's South, or where's that for, like, Timbaland and Pharrell them?
For me, what is that?
Now we talking about talent.
No, but I mean, would you categorize it as South, or it's its own space? Like, geographically, where's Virginia in the whole space?
I feel like VA was their own thing.
VA was definitely their own thing. I mean, Magoo, I think he was just AI. They just threw it on the wall, see if it stuck.
Yeah, he was like the first AI. He was ahead of his time. I'm gonna take everything and I'm gonna show you what you can make out of everything. Put it in one beat.
Oh my God. Yeah. Outside of Magoo, bro, like the rest of them.
I feel like a lot of that there was some Midwest. So if we're talking like the Brat, that felt like more Midwest music. Midwest had kind of their own feel and their own style. I think over the years it's kind of all blended just because once the internet came in, like sounds started kind of sounding the same, different coasts. But back then, there were very distinct sounds for like that Midwest area, West Coast, East Coast, South. Everything had its like own feel to it. Now it's all kind of mushed together, I feel like.
We have the same problem in dancehall. In when I was growing up, and I was growing up more in the 80s, but even in the 90s as a teenager, every artist had their own sound, and every area where people came from had a particular sound. So, if your sound, like Buju had a bit of a Shabba sound, but he had his own sound. Sprague Benz had his own sound. General Degree had his own sound. So even when TOK entered the game, we knew we had to create our own sound. Now, I guess maybe it changed from auto-tune. Maybe once auto-tune came in the game, like everybody does sound the same, and it's gotten even worse now. So now I can hear 5 songs and don't know that it's 5 different artists because they all sound the same. So I think whether it's in the hip-hop space or the dancehall space, that's a continuous problem.
So what about Snow? Was Snow a disrespect to y'all, or Snow was in?
No, we like Snow because he sounded real. The music was dope, and then afterwards when you found out it was a white, because you could hear the record and don't even know it's a white dude. You could hear the record and think it's like somebody from the block. And then when you found out it was white, it was like, and then Canada is like, but at the same time, he had he had credibility because he was literally in jail when he came up with the record. So it wasn't like a rich kid singing about street life. He was literally doing the time. And then also the name was cool. For you to be white and call yourself Snow, we like that swag. We like when people have, we don't really look at color, we look at swag. So once you have a confidence with your own lane, I mean, we respect you.
What about Sean Kingston?
I don't know if Sean Kingston was accepted as Jamaican, even though his grandfather is a legend in the Jamaican space. I think because he was in the pop, maybe if he came out in hip hop, he would have get more street cred. But he came out like pop with Beautiful Girl and Suicidal and those records. So
and now he got pop. So at the end of the day, he be pop.
He be popping.
Yeah, it's not looking so good, is it?
No.
Not that time. He's about to get somebody's bone.
Who said not at all a while ago? That was so Jamaican.
Not at all, brethren.
That's
you see, he be taking them boats over there. I
grew up in a household where my dad's from Red Hook, Brooklyn.
Okay, Brooklyn, BK.
He was raised with nothing but Jamaican. So I heard all these sayings growing up. Like he pretty much introduced me to Jamaican music and to Jamaican culture, even though he wasn't even Jamaican. He just hung out with so many Jamaicans. Every Christmas, he had this one little saying, and it had me going. To this day, I sing it to my kids. And it goes, me, I don't care what the white man say. Santa Claus is a Rasta.
Yep. They're official Jamaican if you know that record.
Yeah.
I'm official today, baby.
Official.
He's not Puerto Rican no more. We're gonna ship him over there now.
I'll go. I'm out.
He's like, I'm tired of Puerto Rico. Oh man.
No, I like Puerto Rico though. I like Puerto Rico. The other day I was there, it was my second time. I went there many years ago for like a DJ convention, but a hip hop DJ convention. But this time it was like for a few days until we went on this cruise. We did a cruise to Trinidad. So you have a whole Trinidad soca music cruise. Starts there and sails to Trinidad. You go to Trinidad Carnival and go back. That was really cool. So I need to go back to Puerto Rico. It was nice vibe, beautiful people.
What was your favorite place? I know you toured around a lot. So what's your favorite spots?
That's a hard one. I think just for my emotional level, the first time I went to Africa, visited Kenya. I did a big concert in Nairobi, Kenya, and that was Like it's a duty as a black man to go back to the motherland, and that was really, really emotional. So that will always stand out for me. Japan, I love Japan. Like I could, if I could, if it wasn't so far, and I would probably have a house there and be there like a couple months out of the year each year. I do like Switzerland just for the mountains and the scenery. It's a beautiful country. I don't know. There's somewhere everywhere. I mean, I love London just for London is like, I don't know, it's like the pulse of it's like Jamaica away from Jamaica. I feel so Caribbean when I'm there.
There's a big population of Jamaicans there, isn't there?
Oh yeah, man. It's like mini Jamaica there for sure. So different places I like, I do like Costa Rica a lot, but there's some places I want to go, and I feel like when I go there, then I might switch up the list, because if I ever drop in Brazil, I don't know, bro. Brazil.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm coming back.
Come back. I might not come back.
Yo, shout out to Cammy, but don't stay out of Brazil, bro.
I think she's in the chat too. She's in the chat over there.
Brazil.
Shout out to Maestro and Cammy, both in the chat right now.
Yeah, I have a special love for Brazil, so that's on the bucket list, But I like Japan, I like Africa, I like some places in Europe, but no place like Jamaica. And I love Trinidad too. Trinidad is like, it's just a unique energy they have, especially around the carnival time.
Yeah. I know. Japan's a major one that I hear a lot of people say. I think it's because of the way it's set up over there.
Yeah, it's a whole different. You can definitely know that you're in a different space, but the place is so clean, the people so respectful. I mean, when we do our concerts, for instance, if it's at 8 o'clock, literally the place is empty up to 10 to 8, 7:50. The place is empty. Outside is full, but the venue is empty, and literally within 5 minutes, 2,000 people just filing, just orderly. And it does everything. Like, it's a very respectful, disciplined set of people. And, we don't see that so much in our side of the world. So I love the culture there. And then they love the music. They love TOK. They love dancehall. They love our culture. So we get royal treatment over there,
Yeah, that's dope. And I love dancehall. I feel like sometimes it doesn't get enough play these days. I think it should get more. Do you feel like dancehall still has a strong place in the market?
Well, I think there's a separation between. I think there are a couple of things. I think dancehall somewhat has lost its identity because the beat has changed. Like, dancehall was known for a certain type of drum pattern and a certain energy when the beat came on. That's what you're talking about in the 90s.
Yeah.
No, it's like more a trap vibe. So if you were to take a dancehall song that's popular right now, and you take away the vocals of the artist, it literally can sound like an R&B song or a trap song or Afrobeat song. There's not that defined sound that we had in the 90s. What we call dancehall now is just the Jamaican artist spitting the Jamaican lyrics or patois over a beat. So we're more identifying dancehall by the vocal and the identity of the artist. So that's the first thing. I think also commercially, there's a formula that exists, but we as Jamaicans literally unruly, and we just don't like to follow rules. So that's what Afrobeats use and grow on us. Like, if you listen to Everyone Falls in Love, Give It to Her, House Call with Shabba, once you put a nice sounding hook that's palatable to the market, you can rough up the DJ part as much as you want. You can go as slack as you want. That complement, that's a formula. You listen to Beyonce and Sean Paul, you listen to Sasha and Sean Paul. Like, Sean Paul has the formula down pat. And that's what Afrobeat's doing. Them sing about love, them sing about, just easy going thing. While our culture is a bit aggressive. It's a bit.
Yeah, I think everybody that be in that movement got to get healthy health insurance. I feel like a lot of
Right.
hip replacements, a lot
Right.
of black replacements. They get thrown off the wall. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
get flying off cars.
Right. So I don't know how far that can go commercially without it being a bit of a.
I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it because I ran out of pain medication. I can't even do that no more. So.
Right. So I think that's where we have lost the commercial ability. But at the same time, we don't have to be commercial because Jamaica has always been this kind of, people that say, yo, you guys are crazy. So we have to continue being crazy. And sometimes it becomes the popular thing and sometimes it's not. And I think in this TikTok world now, like, you don't have to be commercially on the radio to have the entire world watching you a reel or go viral into the entire world. So I don't know what does commercial mean at this point. I mean, Skilly Bang is jumping on a record with, Afrobeats artists and getting the numbers same way with Tyler from South Africa or, Mali from Ghana, Nigeria, So I don't know if it is as closed as the way, or not closed. Back then there was a channel. You had to get a Hot 97 and you had to have a label behind you. And then once you get to jumping on the Hot 97, then spill over to the Tri-State and then spill over to Connecticut. And then that's when you start to find commercial. It have to be on BT and it have to be on MTV and all that. None of those things matters anymore. Like, people are directly just going on Spotify and choosing the song that's on the playlist, and if they like it, they follow it and then put it on them social media. So I think the whole paradigm shift has affected dancehall, but those who know to play the game will survive, and those who stuck in the past paradigm might get lost. A lot of my colleagues from the 90s are totally, blown away, don't know what to do in this space. But you have to adapt or you get left behind,
Yeah, I think I've only seen a few of the guys from the 90s really still doing stuff regularly.
Right.
I think Elephant Man was one of them. He's been doing some stuff recently that I've seen.
Yeah. I think if you love it, you'll never stop doing it and you'll never stop changing with the time. Ellie loves it, like he lives for it. Ellie's not gonna stop being an artist and become an accountant. Yeah. For the rest of his life, he's gonna be the die here energy god. Bounty love it, Vibes Carter love it, Mavada love it, Buju love it. So once you love it like that, then you and if you're a competitive person that want to dominate and still be number one, then you're gonna figure out how to make it work in this space, how to be viral and how to whatever. Some artists aren't gonna come on this. Some of my colleagues from the 90s not gonna come and do this because they're like, yo, why are you doing this? Why am I, they're still stuck in the past. And I'm not on it at all. I feel like, till the day I die, I'm gonna be doing this, and I love doing music. So I'll always try to figure out how to fit in, in the new space.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a whole lot of sense.
Yo, guys, let me know if I talking too much, cause I just had some wine and some weed and.
Yeah, bro, I'm soaking the game in.
No, we soaking all the game in. You talk away. That's what the whole point is.
You are.
Shit, bro. Why your mind always in the fucking gutter, my man?
I was about to ask you. See, this is why I don't ride with the South. They always got in their mind that somebody's after them, and they got this thing that how many times he looked over his shoulder? You see what I'm saying?
But that's how I'm living, bro. We in the South, bro. I don't know.
What I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I've been trying to teach him God's love for a long time now.
And turn around and bust sign shit.
I've been trying to teach him God's love for a while now, but he caught up in that Guadalupe state of mind. I don't know what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you a question. Are you Rastafari? You practice Rastafarian?
Yeah, I do.
How much bud goes into creation?
I mean, when I'm making music.
Anything, tour, music. I mean, I need to know.
Younger BC was like always smoking all the time. I guess now that I have businesses and family and all that, I really contain the smoking to when I'm in the studio or when I'm in a backstage for a show. It's when I'm in the creative space. But once I'm in the studio, in the club, or in the backstage about to perform, or on the stage, sometimes I light up the spliff on stage. Yeah, that's I can smoke all day. Let me put it that way. Like I can.
Fanta leaf? We got some Fanta leaf in there too?
Fronto, no, not really fronto or grabber, no. Sometimes I pick up a bad habit from Europe, so I kind of mix it with some cigarette every now and again. But once I'm in Jamaica, it's pure.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to Hong Kong.
I don't do the blunt. I don't do the blunt and that is paper and herbs.
Okay. I know when I went to Hong Kong, they used to mix it with the tobacco too. Shit gave me a headache.
Yeah. It's not a good practice, but that's how they do it in Europe. You know, I kind of get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you got coming up now? I know you got some shows with the group. I know you got shows of your own coming up.
Yeah. So the summer coming up, right? So we have TOK in California, August 3rd. We have BC in Sweden, August 9th. We have TOK in Netherlands, August 17th. TOK in Barclays Center, New York, 31st. In terms of releases, the group may have like 2 more records to drop this summer. I have like probably 4 to drop this summer. And then this year actually makes 20 years since we released Footprints, When You Cry, Cry. And of course, that's like a smash record for the group, you know. So we may do like a celebration concert at the end of the year, still in the planning process in Jamaica. And I'm kind of taking it easy just to really give TOK the time to really celebrate that. But then once 2026 hits, I'm coming out strong with some solo stuff.
So you travel a lot. So where's home base?
Home base is in the mountains in Jamaica.
The mountains?
Blue Mountains. I live in the Blue Mountains.
I know one thing I noticed when I went over there is the houses are up there. And the way these cars are parked. I caught anxiety, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. But that's all of the Caribbean. All of the islands have mountains that are steep, and some people actually have to put the block behind the tires to make sure it doesn't run down because the handbrake is not strong enough maybe after a while, so they still put a few stones behind the tires.
Crazy.
That's
I
wild.
remember See, I'm getting anxiety as we speak, B.
Yeah, shit.
I saw that in Puerto Rico too. At the little time I was there, I saw some mountains and some people parked in some angles as well.
Oh yeah. It's about the same. You know, I go to Puerto Rico twice a year.
Yeah.
Twice a year. I live there. No, it's not the same. The Jamaicans are out of hand. I don't know if they building a Tower of Babel or whatever they doing over there. But they up there. You know what I'm saying? But this time around, I went and I took my wife and I took a cousin of mine up there, and it was crazy. It was we all the way up there to go to a nice restaurant. But I was definitely counting my blessings on the way down, because it wasn't the fact that it was all the way up there or that it was one steep road for a two-way street.
Yeah.
It was the fact that two-way street, you had these 18-wheelers trying to get by.
Yeah.
And they, and they from there, we're not.
Right.
So, I'm still here. I praise God, I'm still alive. But I don't think I could handle that anymore, man.
Yeah, bro. We brought Nick Cannon because I used to have a festival up in the mountains, and Nick he had an artist that was doing a record with TOK, and he came down to Jamaica to promote the record, and he was actually doing the screenplay. He was doing a script for a movie he came out with, King of the Dancehall. So he was hanging out in the mountains, staying by this hotel called Strawberry Hills, where Bob Marley, it's mountainous, nice hotel. And that's what he was saying every day, like driving down, because he was driving with me down and up because he was near to my home. And every day he was just like, yo, you guys are crazy, bro. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Every day going up and down. It's like, I could sense the anxiety. It's like, you guys are crazy. But for us, it's like, nah, man, we're just driving and toot the horn and navigate and we're gone.
I had an experience. I did have an experience like that though, Solo, in Puerto Rico. So I took my kids to the top of the mountains. I wanted them to see the natives, the Tainos of Puerto Rico. So I want them to know a little bit about their background, right? So I'm thinking, oh, it's cool. I'm gonna go over here, go drive them. Listen, the whole way up and the whole way down, I felt like my nuts were in my throat because it was just like that. The mountain was steep and the road was thin, and you had trucks swinging through those streets.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, that shit was crazy. And there was
but I would. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and there was no railings on the side, so you could easily fly off the mountain.
But I think as crazy as how it is for us in Jamaica, when I go Colombia and the driving from Bogota to Medellin or one of these other towns for a concert, those guys are even way more crazy because the mountains are way more steep and a lot more curves, and these guys are pressing the bus like speeding. And I think it's different when you're driving, so you're in control, but when you're leaving it up to somebody else to drive, it's a very uncomfortable situation to be.
Anxiety go up being a passenger.
Yeah, I tried to play cool, but I was like, no, slow down, bro, slow down.
He was like, slow down. I'm not trying to be a backseat driver, but chill out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
That's dope. I got another track lined up here for you that you had here. Tell me about this one. With Bounty Killer, Bad Man Town.
Oh, yeah, man. Big up Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer is the godfather, is the mentor. He is the high priest. He's definitely the one, as he calls himself, the kingmaker, Big up Exhibit with that. You guys should check out Exhibit album, by the way. Kingmaker is really good. But Bounty Killer, it's fire. But Bounty Killer has been like a godfather in the game. So many artists he has brought out and supported. And personally, a lot of my style is influenced by him. So he has always kind of, given me some strength in the game when I just came in with TOK. And within TOK, I'm the one who was more in the streets. I'm the one who was more outside. So, we just have a different connection. And when I went solo, he wasn't recording for like 5-7 years. He wasn't doing any recording. And when I went solo and I worked on the last album, King Bass, I said, yo, I need to have Bounty on it. And I reached out and he was just like, yo, let's go. So one of the first few records that he started right before he recorded for Khaled was this record called Bad Man Town. And then after we did the song, him hit me up and said, yo, let me hear the mix. And I sent him the mix and he's like, yo, it bad, Him said, when we do the video, and Bounty doesn't normally do video. Early Bounty was not really into videos like that. So I was very, very humbled and flattered and appreciative that he said, yo, let's do this. So I brought in the director from Germany, big up Marco Polo, and we shot this crazy video. And yeah, that's a story of Badman Town. Jamaica is a Badman Town. Kingston is a Badman Town. Puerto Rico, a Badman Town. South a Badman Town. So you don't know. Tampa, a Badman Town. So this is the Badman Town record.
A bunch of thugs in Tampa. Ain't no Badman Town. A bunch of thugs, Scotty Frecos. That's what it is out there.
That was the alley-oop. That was the alley-oop for you, Solo.
Look at Los. Los is like, nah, it's Batman Town.
Batman Town all day. Yo, bro, turn the cap backwards. It's serious now.
Yeah, it got real serious.
He's talking all that now, but when he walk out that door, he got to wear his birth certificate on his head now. He can't play them games over here.
Trying to get rid of my ass.
Yeah, world's going kind of crazy. As a matter of fact, that's a good question for you before we go into the video. Has any of this of what's going on right now with like deportations and immigrations and anything been affecting you guys at all on your touring and stuff like that? If you hit the States?
No, not really. No, we've been blessed so far. I mean, I did have a situation where I had to come to the embassy and they were questioning me only because I went through Cuba once, and I guess America and Cuba is not good. So I had to explain why I was in Cuba and all that. But other than that, it was cool. Nothing major.
I told you gotta chill out over there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But remember, Cuba and Jamaica are like brothers. You know, that's the closest neighbor or language. Everybody has to learn Spanish in school, at high school, or at primary level. So for me, going to Cuba, that was my third trip. I went to Cuba when I was a kid. I went to Cuba. TOK shot a music video in Cuba. The record, She's Hot, She's Blazing, that was shot in Cuba. So it wasn't anything, but I just had to explain it. And once I understood that it was just literally an in-transit flight, then it was cool.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I do like about and this might be, contrary to what a lot of people feel Jamaican culture is like, but when I look at reggae music, when I look at dancehall, when I look at all these, I feel like there's a universal love throughout the music that kind of unites people.
Yeah, for sure.
There was the intrigue hit me. There was a movie I watched called Brooklyn Babylon. I don't know if you know it. It was Black Thought from The Roots was one of the main characters in the movie. But the whole movie is about the story of Solomon and Sheba. And basically in the movie, he kind of mirrors it because he's a Rastafarian, and then it's the girl that he's talking to is a Jewish girl, and they're in Brooklyn during a time that the Jews and the Jamaicans were kind of going at it.
Right.
So, but that movie kind of it was so symbolic and it was so uniting that it gave me that intrigue that I started kind of watching the culture of the music and seeing how it really did connect people in different ways.
Right, and that's a foundation of, that's a lineage that brings on to Rastafari, or King Haile Selassie, which is the head of the Rastafarian church. So it is a direct lineage to the Rastafarian lineage, go right up to Jesus. It goes right up to Solomon, to David, and up to Jesus. So I need to check out that movie because that sounds very symbolic in relation to my faith as a Rasta.
Yeah, very dope movie. Huh?
Jesus is so black.
Jesus black?
Black.
You heard it?
You should know this, Solo.
I was testing him, bro. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I love these guys.
What people understand, there's a part of Ethiopia that never got colonized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To this day, they still haven't been colonized. Those are the OG Christians. You know what I'm saying? I respect the African community. I respect the African spirituality, even though I don't practice that, but I respect it because it's their culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Christians want to call it demonic, but there's a difference between culture and the other side. You know what I'm saying? That's their culture. You know what I'm saying? But they have to come into agreement that Christianity was there. It was accepted in that little part, and it's still there. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? And they still thriving. And it's one of the most of the original Christianity places I've ever studied. The original Ethiopian Bible, which I'm about to get into now, which I'm excited to get into. You know, as a Christian, not too many tend to want to get into that because they get scared of their faith being questioned. But me, I like to go down that rabbit hole and understand that, original Christianity started there, and that's where I've come to differ with a lot of these pastors out here, and they don't like me, and because I question their faith and how they got to their faith. Right. When I bring up Africa, when I bring up the original, Christian Africans, Ethiopians, they look at me crazy, and that goes to show me that you have decided to disregard them and create your own man-made religion as the Romans did. You know what I'm saying? When I continue to dive in, I ain't telling my wife, but we just might move to that joint. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I can't with this guy.
Yeah, you should visit. You should visit at least for sure. For sure, it's.
I think it's the Tawahedo tribe. I think it's called.
Yes,
and the Gospels is called the Bisrop. You know
what I mean? Yeah, you know, yeah.
You know what I mean? He authenticating me over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with me. I know what I'm studying.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I would say this: a lot of the pastors know they have that knowledge, but they have been trained because to be a pastor is a profession that you learn, and you're selective with what you share because you don't want to overwhelm. Some people don't want to overwhelm the audience. Some people want to hold back the knowledge, like you said. And some people really don't know, but there are quite a few who know and choose not to share the knowledge. But, you know, the Bible tell you, well, people say, I don't know if it's in the Bible, but who have ears to hear, and who have eyes to see. So you should,
and my people would die because of lack of knowledge.
Right. The knowledge is there, so you just need to go and look, you know.
You got to look and you got to study.
Yeah. Because the Bible was written in 2 languages. The original Bible is written in Hebrew and in Amharic. So the original is somewhere between the Jewish and the Ethiopians.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and then later comes the Latin, comes the Roman, comes the English,
Greek, and all that.
Right. So
we out here dropping gems.
I be trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't listen. It takes my brethren to come out here to authenticate me for y'all to respect me, sir. I got some nerve, B. I got some nerve, B.
All right. Jesus, I'm good. I got Brooklyn Babylon. Definitely check that out. Los, you got anything else, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, we'll be in Atlanta this weekend. I'll be in Atlanta doing a comedy show out that way. God is good, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just following the path of what's going on with this. And, you know what I mean? It's a blessing having you on here. Bay, this is crazy, you know what I mean? Bay, C, this is amazing. TOK, I've been a fan. I can't even believe it. It has been, 20 years coming up on that hit record that came out?
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
This song, I love that song. I still play. That's in the playlist till today. You know what I mean? It's amazing, and it's an honor to, you know what I mean, meet you, and you know what I mean, just hear your stories and these gems, man. Now Solo feels very Jamaican-ish, you know what I mean? He feels like he's authenticated. I got to witness his baptism into it, so it's pretty dope.
So we're about here. Good times. All right, you got any shout outs, Basie? Any other things you want us to?
Shout out to TOK, shout out to Flex, Alex, and Craigie T. Actually, a special shout out to Flex because his mom, one of the members of the group, the guy who goes, hurry up and come back. His mom passed away 2 weeks, so I'm actually in Baltimore to bury his mom tomorrow at the funeral. So, you know, sending love and light and positive energies to him and his family, condolences. Outside of that, you know, big up to Solaria and Eddie Deuce for making the connection. Big up to you guys for having me on the platform. Shout out my manager, Nerina. Shout out my wife. You know, Solo was always bigging up wifey. Big up wifey out there, you know. And big up to the fans, man. People who still following the movement, people who follow me on IG. I'm not so active on TikTok, but you don't know. Basie music. Follow the movement, follow TOK movement, and just keep connected. Appreciate the time, bros.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna play this Bad Man Town. We're gonna rock out on the outro, and we look forward to seeing more stuff, bro. And I'm definitely gonna be looking for that Caliente track.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Get
bro.
there.
Peace.
Love.
Peace.
Feel sad. Playground or Disneyland this.
Basic, they think it's Toys R Us. Wars are us.
You know the Schweppes in the streets, you know the rules. So watch how you are moving, you in a bad man town. No violate, no take no step, no try to prove. You gamble, you will lose when you in a bad man town. In a bad man town, in a bad man town. Know what you are doing when you in a bad man town. In a bad man town, in a bad man town. So watch how you are moving, you in a bad man town.
The shot of them call the shots. Them a run off the blocks, the matic and all the clocks. Where you see, you no see, you better no call the cops. Yeah, welcome to the city where the streets is starting hot. If you violate the thing, I sing just like a Charlie Blacks. Watch ya, them streets are hotter than a sauna. Everybody on the corner, them a follow the Dan order. Just hold your lane, no cross the border. Watch ya now, if you want to live, you see tomorrow. Yeah.
You know the Schweppes in the streets, you know the rules. So watch how you are moving, you in a bad man town. No
violate, no take no step, no try fi prove. You gamble, you will lose when you in a bad man town. In a bad man town, in a bad man town. Know what you are do when you in a bad man town. In a bad man town, in a bad man town. So watch how you are move when you in a bad man town.
Them big and them heavy, them naff and them loud. Watch your fucking step, your butt we flying out the cloud, you run the road. Flick it from single into rapid mode, clip and load. Ha, oh what up at them, not up with sword. Hey, the King Kong we bust them head crown. Ask any circus, them a clone. We pre every strange face we come round. Violate the zone and the ego fly down.
You know the shreds in the streets, you know the rules. So watch how you are move when you in a bad man town. No violate, no take no step, no try fi prove. You gamble, you will lose when you in a bad man town.